Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Carolina Hurricanes franchise mode. So last episode we had the off season and we released quite a bit of people. We also traded away a couple people, but our team looks pretty solid on the top 9 at least. Fourth line actually looks strong as well with Poirier as our center. Our defense, it looks pretty strong as well, but like the top 6 could be a bit better, but still looks pretty decently. At least like Arvidsson's up to an 82. And goaltending looks still pretty good. Fortunately, Sven Steen did not actually grow to being a backup goalie yet, so LaFontaine is going to be our backup this year. I did sign him in free agency again. And then in the AHL, there's Sven Steen for probably like half the season because he should grow. And then our prospect pool looking pretty deep down there in the minors. So that is that. Let's get started with the season simulation. I'm not going to sign a depth defenseman like I said in last episode because I feel like it should be fine enough anyways. And I think, what was his name? One of our depth guys at least, Louis Durinen. I think he has good defensive stats, so it should be fine. So let's sim the preseason, see how we do. Hopefully we have a good regular season at least. The preseason doesn't really matter as much, but hopefully at least these young guys are producing in it, so it kind of like shows that they're ready for the NHL because we got 3 or 4 rookies this year, so a pretty new squad in comparison to last year. Like I said, we released people like Gauthier, Nicholas Waugh. There was like 4 of them at least that we released, and then we also traded away like Slavin. Okay, so 6-1-0 in the preseason. Who led us? Just out of curiosity. It was the newcomer Casey Middlestat who we signed in free agency. He had 5 goals, 2 assists for 7 points in 7 games. It's really nice. Hopefully it continues in the regular season. So let's get started with the season simulation. If we are doing really good by the deadline, I'm going to just continue simulating and we're going to go right to the playoffs for next episode again. If for some reason we're playing really bad, obviously I will stop it then, and then you guys could suggest trades. Like I said, at the deadline, I think we might want to move like somebody like Hayden Fleury, because he's got like 1 year left on his deal, I think. If we do move him, I don't know what we want to get back because we're going to have to find a new defenseman to replace him. It's kind of good that we didn't get rid of him yet because Gordon Gibbons, who I thought would take his role, or at least like the top 6 role, I thought he was going to be like ready to go for the season, but he's not ready yet. He's still listed as a minor top 2 at like age 24, so he might not be a guy that makes the NHL. And I made a bad choice by not signing a depth defenseman, as Noah Hannafin has been injured with a wrist sprain, it looks like, for like a week. So that's not necessarily the greatest thing, but whatever. So Bean, you could go up. Since you could produce offensively, Peckham, you could go up. And then I think I'm going to just use the Louis Durinen, even though his defensive stats aren't that good. Let's just use Baird Hayton as depth defenseman, even though he's not the greatest either. It's kind of risky using a forward as a depth defenseman, but I just don't feel like signing anybody else at the moment, even though we have tons of cap space. So Baird Hayton was a center. Yeah, there he is. Boom. We are playing really good so far. 8-1-2. Make it 8-1-3. We've only lost 1 in regulation. Michael Matheson. No, thank you. They're trying to help me out with my defensive problem, but whatever. So 9-1-3. Wow, that's pretty good record for the first 13 games. And Huberto's got 12 points in his first 13 games, so that is great news. Definitely a great acquisition from the offseason prior to this one. Let's see if it continues here in November. Hannafin should be back soon. Yes, he is right away. That's good because he is our top defender. He can block a lot of shots. He actually produces pretty decently in terms of offense as well. So there you go. Noah Hannafin back in the lineup. Hopefully he could suck it up and not get re-injured. There's another win. Scouting assignment. I don't even know what we want to scout still. It's kind of hard to find. Let's go defenseman, yeah, because down in the AHL there wasn't a lot of defensive prospects, and people like Gordon Gibbons aren't ready yet, so But our team is flying through this first like 2 months. And oh my god, not again. Sergei Ulnov has been injured with an injured ankle and won't be back to November the 15th. Damn, that is horrible. He missed like the playoffs, and like he's been playing really good so far. And of course he has to suffer an injury. Steen is not listed as a backup yet, but he's up to a 78, so he's getting closer. He still doesn't go through waivers, so we'll call him up as our backup to LaFontaine. But hopefully these goalies could produce or play just as good as who was it? As Ulnov was playing. But I don't even know what we're gonna do with our goaltending situation, because like once what is it? Like Ulnov and Steen are in the lineup, who is going to be the number one goalie? Do we trade away a franchise goalie and keep Ulnov? Because he seems to be simulating like really good. Like he won a Vezina in his like first like full season as a starter, I think last year. So yeah, we'll go roster moves again. At least that wasn't a long-term injury like the one in the playoffs last year. Because the one in the playoffs last year just like, I think that's the reason we didn't even get to the second round. So Steen, you're going back down. And let's go back to the AHL. Go to goalies. And yeah, Morozov was the one I put in. Steen dropped back down to a 77. Hopefully he reaches his franchise potential, because if he's a bust, that's not a good thing. There's a horrible loss, but it was still in a shootout. There's our second regulation loss only in 20 games. That's pretty crazy. We're probably going to start getting losses eventually. Like, yeah, now we have 3 losses in our last 4 games. Like, the sim engine's kind of stupid with that sort of thing. So, wow, we're getting a lot of injuries. Huberdeau's been injured with a mild concussion till November the 30th. That's not a good injury either, because that's our first line left winger. At least we have a depth left winger in Lewis Reinen, so it's not horrible. 3-on-3, I guess. Yeah, we could just put Lewis Reinen there too. It doesn't really matter, because Lewis Reinen's got great shooting, so it could help us out anyways. There's another win, and Huberdeau is already back. Damn, these injuries just like are day to day, and it's kind of annoying me. Davidson grew to an 80. That's going to definitely make our team look even better. Like I said, our team looks like a really good team. Like, they could go far this year. Hopefully we don't have just like a really good season simulation, and we have also a good playoff simulation. Holy crap. Casey Milstad injured with an injured knee. You know what? Let's just go replace player. Our team is still simulating good enough without him still, so he should be back for this game, I think, against Columbus. Yep, I'm just really tired of these line changes, because literally every single like couple days there's a new injury. So there you go, Milstad back in the lineup. We're 19-4-4. That is insane. I think that's like my greatest start in a GM mode. 23 points in 26 games for Huberdeau, and we have, wow, we don't even have that much of a lead over the second place team in our division, which is the Flyers, the team that took us out in back-to-back seasons. Hopefully we don't have to face them again this year. Game against Columbus, and oh my god, all these injuries are literally happening for only like a couple days. Now it's our first line center. You know, I'll just put Hayton in there. I'm just going to keep going what is it, auto replace player, just because it's kind of annoying me, all these injuries. Bigris, nah, not really worth a second, to be honest. Noah Hannafin has been injured, and it's only like for in a week or so. Damn, this injury bug is really hurting our team. And we don't even have Hayton as depth anymore, so let's just go here and put in Lewis Reinen. Even though he has bad defensive stats, he's a two-way forward, so he should be better than that. Where are you, Lewis Reinen? I'm sorry for all this micromanaging, guys. I just did not expect it to be this horrible. There's an OT win, and oh my god, Logan Brown is back. God damn these injuries. Like, I don't even have them up that high. I have them at, like, I think, like, 9 or 10 at the most. Like, they should not be, like, bothering us that bad. But we're 21-5-5. There's back-to-back losses. Of course, this sim engine has to give us a losing streak eventually. And Hannafin is back. Can we not get any more injuries, please, boys? We've already suffered, like, I think 4 or 5 injuries, and we're not even halfway through the season yet. So there you go. Hannafin is back in the lineup. There's the win. Scouting assignment. Holy crap with the pop-ups, man. Let's just scout wherever. I don't care anymore. Oh my goodness. Jake Bean has been injured. Damn. Okay, I'm going to edit the lines, guys, and I'll see you in a sec. Okay, guys. Oh my god, another injury. So Ulanov has been injured with his second injury of the season. This is literally ridiculous. I think I'm going to have to turn down injuries. I don't know why it's affecting us so bad right now. This is like the worst season we've had for injuries. So yeah, I think I'm going to turn down the injuries just after this, because it is literally like taking away the fun of this episode. Okay, so let's go put in Havlet. I don't care really who goes in there. Okay, let's stop the simulation. And Jake Bean is back. Oh my god. Like, that's something that EA definitely needs to fix for NHL 19, is this injury thing. Because, like, for some reason, like, some seasons have, like, a lot of injuries, some don't. So let's stop there. And let's change the settings, because this is just ridiculous. Because I don't even know how much injuries we've had already this year. I haven't been keeping, like, count of it. So we want to go to settings. I don't even know what I have my injuries set to. I think it's not that high. Not rules, god damn it. Sliders, I think it's only pretty low. Yeah, it's only at 10. Let's put it to 9, because 8 was too low before. We were getting like no injuries at 8. Okay, so let's continue with our simulation. We are, what was our record? 22-7-7. Damn. We are playing like beasts, and we don't even have Ulanov in net yet. At least I don't think. There's another win. No, I'm not going to take that deal. Game against the Flyers. A loss. Game against Montreal. Another win. Game against Ottawa. And Hannafin's been injured again. I turned down the injuries by 1 still, and we're still getting injuries. Can you guys count up the injuries, please, for me? Like, I'm probably going to count them afterwards myself anyways, but still, this has been, like, the most injuries I've ever seen. And, like, we're not even in January yet. So let's put in Bert Hayton and extra attacker. Let's put in Hayton as well. Centers. There you go. Now, hopefully we don't have any more injuries till the end of the year, because that has been ridiculous so far. So we're at January 1st finally, but we still have like 2 months before the deadline, a month. We'll just keep on going without looking at the player stats for now. So Darnell Nurse, that's interesting, but 2 years left, no thanks. Oh my god, Murray Peckham's been injured till January 8th. Damn, all these injuries. I might have to turn injuries off completely, like, next season. Like, do you guys think it's cheap kind of going without injuries, or what? Hannafin's back, though. That's actually good news. So Hannafin could go in here. And boom, boom. And then we can put back in Baird Hayton. At least Hannafin's back, but still, literally, every time one player comes back, there's another injury. Yeah, I know I put Hannafin already back in. Yeah, this has been a really injury-riddled season, yet we're still winning games. Parsons and a 4th for a 2nd. No thanks. Multiple players on Carolina are eligible to be dressed. So who was the other injuries? Dan Poy is up to an 84. Still listed as a checking forward, so we'll leave him there. Ulanov is back, and Peckham. Okay, guys, so our lines are back to normal again. Hopefully, like, these guys could recover. There you go, Peckham's recovered, and Ulanov should be as well. hopefully that's all we have for those damn injuries. Because literally we've had like I'm gonna guess like at least 8 of them so far. So we are 29, 12, and 7. Nicely done, guys. We almost have, yeah, we have 30 wins already, and we're not even done January. Okay, scouting assignment again. Let's just keep scouting random stuff. I don't care anymore. Game against Minnesota, there's a shootout win. So we are 4 in a row now going into February, and we're 32, 12, and 7. So we'll probably continue assimilating and get the season completely done, even though this episode's going to be long just because of all the injuries. The Flyers are still killing it, which I do not like to see, because if we have to face them in the playoffs, it might be kind of another elimination. So let's go all the way to the deadline. Then we'll check the player stats, see how everybody's producing. And oh my god, Rod Fritz 2 now? How much injuries is this so far? Oh my god. This team. I don't even get why we're so breakable. Like, it's like our team is made of glass or something. But we're still on a winning streak, 6 games in a row now. Burakovsky, no thank you. There's a loss. And Marcel Poirier now too. Oh my god. Let's just go replace player, because that'll put in Barrett Hayton. Damn, this injury bug is horrible, and Poirier is already back. His team must be like pissed off with how much players they're losing. Like, it's ridiculous. No, he's not back. Okay, so Poirier is going back down to the 4th line again. There is 4 losses in a row, so that's a good losing streak, and players are back again. Good. Because I want to be back to full health. Hopefully this doesn't continue in the playoffs. There you go. Rod Fritz is back in the lineup. Here's another win. Michael Mersch. No decline. Don't need to claim him. There's another loss. So we're losing a lot of games recently, but we still have a really good record because of how we started off the season. A nice 8-2 win over the Rangers. Tyler Person from the Rangers, no thank you. Considering he probably let in all 8 of those goals I just scored, so, or at least 6 of them. There's back-to-back losses, and we are 37, 19, and 7 at the trade deadline. Really good records, so we're not going to make any trades in this episode at the deadline, even though we could technically trade away Hayden Fleury. Yeah, let's actually just get the season done with, and then we'll check the player stats. I don't know how long this episode's been so far, but hopefully you guys are still enjoying it. The amount of injuries has been kind of dragging on this episode. There's an OT win over LA, a loss to Edmonton, win over Colorado, a win over Buffalo. Nice, we could have another 50-win season here. Hopefully Ulanov gets another Vezina, because he got one last year and he got the Jennings. I'll just scout wherever again. Game against Florida, another win. Game against the Rangers, who we've beat multiple times, and we lose in the shootout. There's a win over Montreal, lost to Toronto in a shootout, and a loss to the Islanders in the shootout. Damn, we have so much extra frame losses. Hopefully we play better in overtime in the playoffs as well, because or else we're definitely not getting past the first round. Oh my god, Rod Fritz has been injured till April 16th, so he might not be back till like middle of the first round. Luckily we have depth in Lewis Ryan, but still, damn, this injury bug has like literally destroyed our team. There's a win. 3 games left. We can't even hit 50 wins now. We're still in the playoffs, right? Just want to make sure. We should be. Yep, we are second in our division, but Philadelphia has run away with it. Hopefully we could out them when we play them, because I have a feeling if we do get past the first round, we're probably going to play them like second or third round if we get that far. There's another loss, and another win. So we finished 45, 27, and 10, so a lot worse than I expected us to, but at least we still made the playoffs. So let's take a look at our player stats now, since we haven't done that all season long. We might have to make some line changes depending on which lines are minus and whatnot. So, player stats for this season, the 2024-25 season. So, Huberto, 63 points. Milstad, 57 points. He was a minus 11. It looks like that second line might be the worst one. Hosang, 57 points. Aho, 51 points. Nikas, 45 points. Nice. Hannafin, 42. Logan Brown, 39. Stephen Malone, 37 in his second season, like his sophomore season, which was worse than last year, but he had more goals this year, so that's pretty good. Rod Fritz, 36 points and a plus 21. Wow. And he's still out with his injury, so that's pretty good for playing 73 games. Whitmore, 33 points in his rookie season, a plus 22. Wow. Erzberg, 29 points. That's pretty good for a 79 overall player. 6 goals, 23 assists. Poirier, 27 points. Fleury, 26 points. Arvidsson, 23. Davidson, 16. Bean, 12 points. Ward, 8 points. Peckham, 3 points. Hayton had 2 points in 12 games. And Luostarinen had 2 points in 13 games. So our depth guys played a total of 25 games in terms of injuries. So we lost 25 man games to injury. That's a lot for an 82-game season. And Ulanov finished 31, 16, and 7 with 1 shutout only. Wow, only 1 shutout. And a 933 save percentage and a 2.01 goals against average. LaFontaine played 28 games as backup, going 15, 10, and 2 with 3 shutouts. Oh yeah, that's because we lost a lot because of injuries and stuff with goalies too. 926 save percentage and a 2.24 goals against average. And Svenstein went 0-1-1 with an 893 and a 3.45. And then down in the minors, how did our prospects simulate? So Gibbons, 49 points, but he still hasn't grown. Godfrey, 44 points. He's going to be NHL bound next year. Grantham, 41 points. He might be NHL bound next year. Like, we're going to have to flip more players in the offseason this year. Raf G, 26 points. Wow, that's a huge drop-off. Steve's 21 points. Corrado, 21 points. The guy we just drafted in last episode. Etc. And in goalies, Steen went 25, 19, and 6 with 1 shutout and 918 save percentage and 2.44 goals against average. He's still listed as a minor starter at 79 overall, so he should be our backup by next season. So that is that, and now let's see who we're going up against in the first round of the playoffs. Well, actually, let's check the standings first. Like I said, this is probably a long episode. So in terms of goals for per game on average, we were... Where were we? We were one of the worst offensive teams, 2.67. Our goals against per game, though, was third best in the league. So once again, a strong defensive team. Our power play was kind of in the middle, 18.3%, I think it said. And our penalty kill was not that good this year. Our penalty kill had a big drop off this year, I think. I didn't even see us. Where are we? No, maybe not. We might be, yeah, we're like top 10, I think. That's still pretty good. 83.2%. We were 20-16 and 5 on home ice, 25-11 and 5 on the road. And our last 10, 2-6 and 2. So the final thing, who are we going up against in the first round of the playoffs? So let's see. Hopefully it's not the Flyers again. If it's the Flyers again, that's going to be a pretty big matchup. Hopefully we could take it to them this time. And we should be finding out soon. Come on, why it's taking us so long? Should be finding out now, and it's going to be against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Wow, so this is the first time we've ever had to play them. The AHL team actually made the playoffs as well. That's pretty good for Svenstein. So let's save this quickly, and we'll take a look at the Leafs lines. I'd assume they still have people like Matthews and Marner. I know they don't have Nylander because we got offered him a couple years ago from a different team. So, yeah, let's take a look at what their lineup looks like. Hopefully they don't have any former Carolina Hurricanes. So Robbie Fabry, Austin Matthews, and Mitch Marner, pretty solid first line. Second line, Nemesnikov with Rask. Oh, Victor Rask. That's where he signed in free agency. You gotta be joking me. We release Rask and then he signs with the Leafs and then we have to face them. So our former player, Victor Rask, Alex Tuck, Calle Yarncroc, Oscar Lindberg, Alexis Lafreniere, who's going to be a bust it looks like because he's playing on a third line. I don't know why. And Joe Colborne back in Toronto again. Jesus Delmore, I think I remember this guy. And Stefan Nyquist. Defensively, they have Morgan Riley and Glenn Knight, so that's a deadly top two. Liljegren on the second pairing with Lewis. That's a nice pairing. And then Pulak and Zaitsev. So this team has a lot of new players on it, actually. Frederick Anderson and Donald Kostopoulos is the backup. Scratch, they have Connor Brown and Patrick Hornquist. So overall-wise, I am kind of scared of what their team looks like on paper, but we have probably more experience, I think, than they do over the last, 8 years. So hopefully that transpires into the playoffs. They had a really good record, 54, 19, and 9. So we're going to have to take it to them pretty hard in next episode. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave it a like and subscribe if you're new here. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time.